Hello. In this lesson, we cover equations with fractions. Two important rules you need to consider is multiply both sides by the denominator so that you can eliminate the denominator. The second one is leave your answer as a fraction if you cannot divide. So if you cannot get a whole number as your answer, just leave it as a fraction. Let's illustrate this by a number of examples. Example 1. Say you have an equation like r over 2 equal to 5. They ask us to solve this. The solution for that is just divide both sides by the denominator. Okay. So multiply both sides by the denominator so you get rid of the denominator. So I write the equation r on 2 equal to 5 times both sides by the denominator. Remember, in equations we got to do the same thing to both sides. Now r over 2 means r has been divided by 2. Now you times in by 2. That means you're not doing anything to r. So you go back to your original r. And 5 times 2 is 10. That is the solution. So if you had an equation in this form, just your numerator is the unknown over a denominator equal to a number, just times both sides by the denominator, and that will get rid of your denominator, and you end up with only the numerator, which is your pronumeral that you are after, and then times the second side by the denominator, and that will be your answer. Example 2. Solve q minus 4 over 3 equal to 5. We want to solve that equation. Again, the rule is we need to times by the denominator, and that will get rid of the denominator. So I write the equation again. Q minus 4 over 3 is equal to 5. So we times both sides by the denominator. That will get rid of the denominator on this side. So you end up only with the numerator, which is Q minus 4. Then equals. And 5 times 3 is 15. So as you can see here, I need to times by 3 because when I'm timesing by 3 on the left hand side, all it does, it gets rid of this 3 because it is already divided by 3. But here, it's not divided by 3, it's just 5, so I times it by 3, I get 15. Alright, from here, here onwards, I'm sure you know what to do. We covered with previous lessons. So q minus 4 equal to 15. So you add 4 to both sides. So that will get rid of this subtracting 4. Minus 4 plus 4, they go away. And you end up with q only equal to 15 plus 4 is 19. That is your answer. Let's look at another example. Example 3. Two m over 3 over 3, say, equal to 5. They ask us to solve this equation. Solve this. Okay. Again, we write the equation. We times by the denominator as usual. That's what you do when you have denominator in your equation. So that will get rid of this 3. So I end up with only 2m equal to 5 times 3 is 15. Now m has been times by 2. We need to divide by 2. But you got to do anything to both sides. So that will get rid of this 2. You end up with m equal to 15 over 2. Now, because I cannot divide 15 by 2, I write it as a fraction. If I could divide it and get a whole number, then I would have written the answer. But because 2 doesn't go evenly into 15, you leave your answer as a fraction. If you change it to a mixed numeral also, that's fine. Example 4. N over 5 plus 1 equal to 8. So they are asking us to solve this. Again, remember the rule when solving equations with fractions is to times both sides by the denominator. Alright, now I'm timesing this side, the left hand side by 5 and also the right hand side by 5. N over 5 times by 5. Again, because n has been divided by 5 and I'm timesing by 5, that will get rid of 5, so I end up with n. Then plus 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, here I need actually to times them because 1 is not over 5. So this 5 gets rid of that. So it already has no denominator, just times by 5. But here it has a denominator, and this times by 5 got rid of the denominator. Alright, equals. So 8 times 5 is 40. Now n 5 has been added to n. We got to undo it, take away 5, but always do both sides. Now n plus 5, take away 5. They go away. You end up with n equals 40, take away 5 is 35. That is your solution. And the last example, example 5. Is 2u minus 5 over 3 equal to 7. In this equation, as you can see, the unknown or the pronumeral has got also a coefficient. In most of the previous ones, this wasn't the case. For example, n didn't have a coefficient. Here, it had a coefficient. All right. That's why at the end you got to one more step. You got one more step to do, and it is dividing by the coefficient of the unknown. All right. So here what we do is again times by the denominator. Two u minus 5 over 3 equal to 7 times by denominator. Times by the denominator, and that will get rid of your denominator, and you end up with your numerator. So you end up with 2u minus 5 equal to 7 times 3 is 21. So because everything on the left hand side was over 3, times in by 3 will get rid of that 3. Here it was a bit different because when I was timesing by 5, 1 wasn't on 5. That's why I needed to times 1 by 5. But here, everything on the left hand side is divided by 3. So when I'm timesing by 3, that 3 will go away and we end up with the numerator, which is this. Alright, the next step for that is to add 5 to both sides. Then you get 2u equal to 26. And the last step for this is divide both sides by the coefficient of u. So dividing both sides by u, you get u equal to 13. 26 divided by 2 is 13. So I'm dividing both sides by 2 and I'm getting u equal to 13. That divided by 2 gets rid of this 2, and 26 divided by 2 gives me 13. That is my solution to this. Thank you for your attention.